Okay, so started on the bathroom. Got the curtain down. That's a big step. Anyway, got the tub disconnected. And while I'm wrestling this out the door, now this is not a very big tub, but when you're trying to get it out the door, it's quite bulky, quite heavy. So I'm only just going to film this little part here underneath. I thought it might have been interesting. Standard Company, Toronto, Canada. A little bit of a marking there on the old cast iron tub. Maybe that means something. Standard, that's a well-known. They still make bathroom fixtures and stuff. Oh, I didn't know they were Canadian. Well, there it is. Oh, needs a good clean up. So let's wrestle this out the door. Said it's not light. Okay, let's see if I can get this out of here. Okay, so I got the plumbing capped off. There's unfortunately no isolation valve, so I soldered on 2 caps. I've got the water turned back on now. No leaks. So let's get this toilet out of here. I got the bolts off of it. I've got the lines disconnected off this little vanity. And it's garbage day tomorrow, so maybe we'll put this out to the curb tonight. Somebody will pick it up and reuse it. Okay, let's get this stuff out of here. Okay, so it's about 40 minutes later. I got my room emptied out. And the tub and toilet are going to sit in the spare bedroom for now. So this is good to go. I've just started peeling the old wainscoting that was in here. And along with that little shelf that went all around the room. Like I said, this was crooked as heck, so might as well start from scratch. And my favorite part here is you always see all these interesting different layers of wallpaper. Like stuff like this, you know. Gotta wonder why, but I mean, I guess it was the style, depending on the era. And underneath this, I can see, this is the old-fashioned thing. Every room in my house has had a board like this. And this is where, you know, in 1918, this is what the sink would have been fastened to. Interesting. There was one here, and there was one in the downstairs bathroom as well. You see some later wallpaper. This dark green, almost with a wood grain finish. Not sure when that was about. And at one time, this would have been this really dark salmon pink color. That's kind of interesting. A little bit of writing here. Probably somebody that was measuring when they did the wainscoting. Now, underneath this floral stuff, there was another greenish kind of wallpaper. So there's been several layers here over the years, which is kind of normal. Strangest thing is on this wall here. I thought I unearthed a chimney. And I thought, well, there's no chimney in this section of the house. But if you look at it, if you touch it, it's wallpaper. So there's a little tiny square of wallpaper. I have no idea why. I don't know who did this, when, why. I mean, I don't know. Was there something decorative behind the toilet at one time? I don't know. I would think the toilet was always here, but who knows? So anyway, this is not a chimney. This is a little square of wallpaper like chimney. So I'm going to keep moving along here, pulling this wainscoting down. Yeah, just like that. Going pretty good. Okay, I'm going to keep moving along here and get all this wood cleared out. Okay. Okay, the wainscoting is all gone. Now, I took a poke at the ceiling and basically that all crumbled and fell. So I think it's time to get a respirator because this whole thing moves up and down. Gosh, this does not look great. I know the house has a new roof with all new sheathing, but the lath and plaster at this point is completely detached, or the plaster is completely detached from the lath. like by about 1/4 inch. So I think this whole thing, I don't know if you can see that. The whole thing is moving, so. Okay, it's time to get my respirator on. Somebody was mentioning maybe checking for asbestos. I gotta run an errand tonight, so maybe I'll pop by a hardware store, see if there's such a thing. I was told that this house was so old that horsehair plaster did not contain asbestos, but who knows? Better be safe than sorry, so I will look into it. And I'm going to leave this for now until I get my mask. And then we're going to go to town taking this down. I guess my decision's been made for me. Okay. Okay, so I went to my local hardware store. In fact, I went to 2 hardware stores inquiring about test kit for asbestos. Nobody knew what I was talking about, so I guess we don't have those here. They had kits for mold and stuff, but nothing for asbestos. So I just decided to go for it. I mean, I did the ceiling downstairs earlier this year, so probably the same ceiling. Whether there's asbestos or not, I don't know. But I did wear my respirator. Okay, so what I've decided to do, the part of the ceiling that's the angle part here that's part of the roof, the textured ceiling was basically falling down, so it wasn't hard at all. I took all this down. When it came to the flat part of the ceiling, that stuff is stuck on there like crazy. Like I was wailing at it when I got to the edge here. So, and I didn't want to take this one down anyway because we've just had insulation done up in the attic. So we've had the loose cellulose blown in there. So the last thing I would want is that falling down here. So anyway, this is nice and sturdy. So I am going to cover this up, and I'm going to obviously drywall this part. Probably use regular drywall. Maybe use 1/4 inch drywall over this. I mean, once they meet at the seam, it doesn't matter if the thicknesses are different. All the wainscoting is gone, and all the baseboard is gone. So that's pretty much where I'm at. Went pretty well. Like I said, this is not a huge job, more of a cosmetic job. But, you know, we will have to dig right into the floor. Because that's where our leak exists, somewhere in this drain. And I'm also obviously going to want to redo the supply lines for the tub because I want them nice and straight, hopefully with a chrome finish. Toilet's going to stay where she's at. The sink here is going to be an IKEA sink. It's nothing fancy at all because I just don't have the space. But I don't like the way this plumbing is. This plumbing comes up through the floor of the, I haven't looked at the cabinet up close, but I'm probably going to change this. I would like to have the plumbing come up through this wall and back out this way, if possible. If I don't have to, I'll leave it, but I got a funny feeling that this is not going to work with what I want to do. But anyway, I want to get into this floor. Like I said, there is a leak, and the floor has a pretty bad dip, so we're going to have to address all this. I did buy a ceiling fan today. This bathroom has no fan. I bought a ceiling fan. I don't know if it's going to fit. Right now, I'm thinking I'd like to have it over here. I'd like to wall mount it because then I could just pop out and just have my hole come in the soffit or in the underhang of the roof. That would be the easiest way to install it. That's where I'm at right now. Still not sure if I'm going to drywall, plaster, if I'm going to beadboard. Like I said, my first thought was to beadboard all the walls and the ceiling, but that might be overkill. Right now, I don't know. This texture ceiling will be covered up for sure. This obviously will be addressed. There's going to be a fan. There's going to be new flooring. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's kind of a small job. I'm thinking about covering all this up because there's some cracks that just don't ever want to go away. So a nice layer of 1/4 inch drywall would probably do the trick here. Probably going to box this pipe in. That's what I've been wanting to do. Not 100%, but that's what I'm thinking right now. And I'm going to leave the built-ins, but I may do something up here. I may remove the doors and leave the shelves open. I'm not sure. It all depends. We'll see how the project goes along. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to call it a night. And we're going to resume, maybe resume tomorrow. Okay.